Welcome to our retirement, folks.
Ah dear. Morning everyone.
Morning, folks.
Trevor just had camera wrong way around and there was no one there.
It was. We were facing the two chairs opposite.
Why is there no one there?
That's impossible.
What you got there?
Right. Well, they say that you've got to let me tell
Well, I'll let you tell. Go on.
the story.
Right. He's not like that now. He wouldn't do it now, would you?
No,
Definitely not.
no, I was a bit.
You were a bit of an angry young man. And you're younger.
Yeah.
Can you remember?
Yeah. After the woman who chopped all the trees down and put the aerial on the road, she eventually
Sold it again.
sold it. Should never have bought it in the first place.
No, she shouldn't.
And she sold it to this couple, a younger couple, and they had a dog. That's the dog that used to
Torment him.
go into our rubbish bins and bark and keep wetting me up. Well, it really annoyed me, did that dog.
And it was loose, it wasn't tied up, was it?
I think they went out to work and left it, want to wander. But I used to, when I used to come back in the van, I had a transit van that I delivered milk in. And when I used to come back, if I saw it, I used to aim the van at it. I used to try and run it over. I once drove onto pavement after it one day.
Well, every day it went in bin.
It did. But it started to recognise my van.
Started to recognise him.
And as soon as it saw my van, it used to start barking and going berserk. And one day I grabbed a brush and I chased it and it ran onto its barge. And I ran onto the barge after it and I shoved it into the canal with brush.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
They used to play like hide and seek. He'd wait behind one of the walls and the dog would be looking round the corner to see if he were chasing
that
you.
day.
Yeah.
I had a club in my hand. I was going to club it. And you know these walls here, outside here, these abutments that go up against the wall. I was stood in between them with this club in my hand, and I was waiting for it to come, and it never came. And I put my head right corner at abutments, and it was stood there with its head to one
side watching. It were a canny dog. Yeah. It was just a bit annoying, wasn't it, at that particular time?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it used to wetten you up when you went to bed after you'd been delivering milk.
It did, yeah.
And it had not been over and wetting you up and... Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So it was an annoying dog, but it probably didn't deserve shoving in canal and...
Oh, I don't know. But eventually, I mean, after I'd been to court and banged up that day, when I come back, I went, you know what I did? I went and where they'd connected their pipe into my water tap in that outside toilet, I turned it off and sawed it off with an hacksaw so I couldn't turn it back on. And shortly after that it sank.
Yeah. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Started to sink. So whether the water had something to do with it, I don't know. But it did.
It did, it sank.
Yeah.
I remember once I took the rubbish, the dustbin, after the dog had been in it, I took the dustbin and I emptied it on his barge.
We never really saw them, did we?
Oh, yeah, so he come round. And I said, well, how do you like it?
I have to pick
I
that
have
up.
that every day with your dog.
Yeah. Yeah. So, go on. If you want to have a rave at him for being cruel to the dog, you can do. Because they were both cruel to one another, dog and him.
Oh, well, that's it. You see, I was just...
An angry young man at that time.
Yeah, I didn't suffer fools gladly in them days.
No.
What have I got written down here? Well, there's something here that I wrote down here. Oh! Do you know something? I saw a film last night with Gina Lawler-Brigida in it.
Gina Lawler-Brigida.
Do you remember Gina Lawler-Brigida?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I saw how they spelt it on telly. Because what it did was, it reminded me of a game we used to play when we were kids. I don't know if you ever played this game, but what you had to do was, you know, where we lived in these back-to-back streets of back-to-back houses in Leeds. All these brick-built terrace houses were all back-to-back. You know
that
what?
meant you had a house on one side and a house on the other, so that they were separate.
They were back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
Yeah.
And then they went all the way down the street like that, didn't they?
Yeah, but there were always a middle cross street.
Yeah.
There'd be so many houses and then a street going across, and then they'd start again. It maybe did it 3 times down the street.
Yeah, something like that.
And where there were a middle cross street, there were a gable end. And we used to stand at the gable end, and one person would stand with his back to the gable end wall, and everybody else used to stand in a line, just one line, all lined up, and he used to shout out the initials of a well-known person's name, of a film star's name, and the first one to get it took a step forward, and then you'd shout out another one, and then you just kept taking a step forward, and the first one to reach the wall won, and they took over.
Be like EP for Elvis Presley.
Or GLB. I used to really get them with GLB. But I thought Gina Lawler-Brigida, I thought it was three
different people.
But Lawler-Brigida is one word.
All right.
I used to think it was 2 words, Lawler-Brigida.
Yeah.
So all them years I was getting it wrong, you see. But it always stumped them. I think if nobody got it, you had to go back to start again.
All right.
I think, and start again.
Right.
But you had to know
a lot of film stars.
Film stars' names, didn't you, to play that game?
Yeah. Yeah, you would have done. Yeah. We used to play Queenie, who's got the ball here? You'd throw a ball over your head and someone would catch it behind you
All
keep it. And they all had their hands behind their back. So you didn't know who got the ball.
Queenie, who's got the ball here?
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
Yeah, ball games.
Yeah. People who lived in the end house on them gable ends used to go mad because you used to kick ball at wall.
Yeah.
It was a really big wall.
Yeah.
And it was so tempting to kick a ball again.
Yeah,
and
especially
it used to
if you were alone.
Because there were another one opposite it. And when you kicked a ball at the wall, the sound of the ball used to echo between the two walls, and it used to go, wah, wah, wah. It used to make this, this funny noise.
Yeah. Yeah. We, where I lived, we had what were called the Lemi, and it were a big field. And people used to put horses on it, and fair used to come on there, and there were what we call gypsy caravans, the old covered ones, and they used to come on and stay, and then their kiddies would go to our school for say maybe 6 weeks or so.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and used to go down steps. Well, at one particular point, there were like these big concrete blocks, and they had a steel bar coming out of them, going up to another steel fencing, and we used to jump them. And they were quite wide about.
You used to call it jumping the stumps.
Yeah.
You used to call them stumps.
Yeah, stumps. Yeah, and in between them, when we were younger, we used to make houses. This would be my house and that would be her house. And we used to pick things up or get them from home that were empty, little cartons or tins or what have you, and we'd have a shop. Really weird. And there were bits of slate on this field, and we used to use them as plates, and there were some little green things that used to grow, like a pea.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we used to pretend that we were eating them. Oh dear. But I used to have to cross the Lemi to go to school.
Lemi?
Yeah, called the
Funny
Lemi.
word,
I don't know why we called it the Lemi. Leamington.
I don't know.
If you went one way, you could go towards the Picture House and Domestic Street. And if you went the other way, you sort of cut Domestic Street out, but went up by houses to school at top. The school is still there, but it's not a school. And I had to stop going that way because there were a couple of girls that used to wait for me. At top of them steps.
You used to get bullied,
I used to get bullied, so I used to have to go a long way around by football ground.
Right.
Up top.
Ellen Road?
Yeah, up Ellen Road, across.
Right.
Down Whitehall Road.
Yeah.
Instead of going quick way across Lemi.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And coming home, they waited for you.
Yeah, they were waiting for me once, and they had this, them right thick ropes that you have that are twisted together. And the ones hit me round face with it. And that was last time I went Lemi way.
Wow.
Yeah. So it were a nice place, but it could also be a bad place. I eventually got pally with a girl in a couple of streets up, and she were a bit of a bruiser.
Was she? Oh, she looked after you.
Yeah.
She was your minder.
They lived opposite her.
Oh,
sort
did
of
they?
A bit further down the street.
Oh.
Yeah, they were sisters.
Were they?
I don't know whether they were twins or whether they were just sisters.
Oh.
But yeah. So that were my little thing.
Yeah.
You could get them, couldn't you? Bullies. Don't know why they bullied me.
I don't ever recollect.
Being bullied?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
You were probably the husky kid.
No, I won't. No, I won't. I won't. I didn't fight.
No.
I didn't fight much. I don't think I've ever been that good, any good at not fighting. Not really.
I used to knock around with three. Well, there were twins. There were two brothers, twins, and we went all over together. And they were always climbing, so I were a bit of a tomboy then. So I were always climbing. I used to climb up walls that were on front Lemi into one of the streets. Yeah, we'd get on bus to somewhere and this sort of parky place or valley. I once lost my shoe in mud jumping a beck.
Did you?
With them. Yeah, and we used to go newting.
Yeah. Newts.
Newting.
Yeah.
Get them in jam jars.
Yeah.
Collect caterpillars off of leaves on Lemi and put them in matchboxes and ladybirds. And I don't know whether you ever did things like that, but
the one thing I used to do when I was probably about 14, which is not allowed anymore, I used to go nesting, bird nesting. I used to take one egg. I used to collect them, and I had them in a box. I used to have this cardboard box, and it was full of cotton wool. And I used to blow them when I got home. I used to put a pin in top and bottom, and blow yolk out of them. And I had some really rare ones, you know. I remember I had a chiff-chaff. I only ever took one egg. But it was just something you did in them days.
Yeah.
It was never...
No, it was never
questioned, no. But one day, with me and our kid, we annoyed my dad. And my dad got fed up with us one night or something. I don't know what we'd been doing. But he threw a boot or a shoe or something at our kid. And it missed him and it hit me eggs.
Smashed them
and smashed them, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bet you were upset about that.
Oh, yeah.
When did he say out?
I can't remember.
No. They would always do it.
I'll never forget. We used to imitate my dad. You know when you're kids, you do, don't you? Imitate people. And we must have used to wind my dad up somewhat rotten. And my mum. I remember my mum once. We were annoying her. I don't know what we were doing. But she must have had been looking for a knife and fork or something out that drawer in the kitchen, and she pulled this drawer out and she held it over her head, shouting at us, and all these knives and forks fell on her out of this drawer. I think it was at that time that...
Oh, she was having trouble with the thyroid gland.
I think she had thyroid trouble and she had to go and have an operation, actually, on a thyroid gland, and I think probably that's why.
Everything irritated her.
Yeah. We used to imitate my dad. He used to shake with rage at us.
him and his brother used to go home first before the mum and dad.
Yeah, we did.
And you ended up fighting with Stanley. Did Stanley put his arm through?
Yeah, well, they were chasing me, and we had a door leading. When you went into our house, typical what they call a double fronted back to back. The door, it led straight up. It's a staircase behind front door, And then front room on left and dining room,
kitchen
on right. And me and our kid were chasing me for summer, and I ran front room into kitchen and slammed the door shut in his face, and he put his elbow through this glass panel on it.
Did he cut himself?
I don't remember him doing that.
No, because you went straight to bed, didn't you?
Well, in them days, your punishment, if you misbehaved, you was to get sent to bed. I used to hate that. Get sent to bed because...
Without any supper.
Yeah. You used to hear everybody playing out outside. And you were in bed, you know. It were horrible. It were light. Still light. It wasn't dark.
Well, it was meant to be a punishment.
It was. It wasn't all. It was torture. But me and our kid, we didn't wait for my mum or dad to get home when we went straight to bed. And when my mum came home, we were both in bed. We didn't stand on ceremony, we just went. Times have changed, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, that won't happen nowadays, will it?
Well, I mean, there's too many things in the bedrooms, haven't the kids? It won't be a punishment to them anymore.
No, it won't, would it?
With phones and
televisions, computers,
yeah. All the little gadgetries they've got, cars.
You're right.
Whereas they were hardly out in bedroom, were they?
It was sheer agony. Yeah.
Because you couldn't play out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aye. Well, a day in the life of Trevor and Pat.
Yeah. I know.
In our younger days.
Yeah.
Dearie me.
Yeah. All these memories.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Still go weird, don't they?
Yeah, people, they'll be coming telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah. They used to do it.
And I have to answer them all.
Yes, he does. He sits and answers them all.
To spend hours answering your comments. Yeah. Oh, well.
Is that it first thing on the morning, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I do it on the morning when I wake up, and then throughout the day. I don't know I'm not sure if I can drive yet.
No.
I'm still taking them tablets. I mean, I'm not too bad. It's still there when I'm in bed. You know, when I turn over and stuff. When I get up and I've been laid down, it's still...
trying to turn light on.
Yeah.
It's sort of slightly behind you, isn't it?
Yeah. So, anyway, I can't take them after today. I can only take them for 3 days.
Right.
But we need to go out, don't we? We need to do something today. We're getting stir crazy. Well, I am.
He is.
All right, folks. See you tomorrow, all being well.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. I nearly forgot. I did a little bit of filming, a bits and pieces yesterday, so I'll put them on now. Right, folks. I'm going down to start the car up. I haven't run for over a week, so I'm hoping it's all right. So I'm going to start her up. Let's change this a minute. There's that lovely drawing of mine. Love it. Well, I've just bent down to tie my shoes up and I'm fine. Right, give it a run. Started first kick, no problems. Poor little thing. Can't run for over a week.
I've opened that.
Salami.
And that's open, but that ain't open and that ain't open,
Okay,
so if you want them.
Okay. Thank you, darling.
It's okay.
And it's all been cleaned out. Won't stay like that for long.
No. Always new.
He's had a walk round kitchen.
I'll fit the oil strainer.